listening to A Conversation with My Wife, the first episode of a new series where instead of having a guest from a different part of the world, we're going to be having the same guest, that is Rochelle, my wife, and we're going to have a conversation on a different topic, depending on what we've seen that week or where we've been or what we've done. And if anybody's wondering, well, why do I want to listen to that? Surely it's more interesting, a different guest from a different part of the world with a different topic. Generally, the guests we have on, they don't know me. We've usually never met, and it's the first time we've spoken when we record. The difference now is that Rochelle knows me quite well. So when we're going to talk about something, and this first episode is a part 2 of the episode we just published, a conversation with my son, where we spoke to Harvey about Sports Day. She knows what I really think, so her questions might be a little bit more revealing than a random guest who doesn't know me that well. So there's the bit of sizzle for why you should continue with this series of episodes. It's going to be coming out fairly regularly. It's obviously not going to be as clockwork as a conversation with the main series that's coming out every Wednesday, but we hope that it will be quite a regular feature. And if you enjoy it, let us know, and we'll do more of them. That's the easy answer. So let's welcome Rochelle to the show. Hello.
Hello.
So what are we going to be talking about? Well, we've said Sports Day. So let's welcome Rochelle to the show.
Hello.
So we're going to be talking about Harvey's Sports Day.
Yes, Sports Day, rah, rah, rah. So that's the song that Harvey didn't sing last episode that he conveniently forgot.
Yeah, he's been singing it all week since
I know,
Sports
and
Day.
when I picked him up this afternoon, he was singing it. I was like, why didn't you sing that when Daddy was recording a podcast? He didn't say anything.
He's just a little bit shy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's just so convenient. He's just, I don't know. He's the one that wanted to record something and just, let's do it. And then when you actually do it, he doesn't do it. He's suddenly shy.
It's amazing. I don't know what's wrong with the boy. Anyway, that's enough about Harvey and what he sings and doesn't sing at home. So we went to Sports Day last week?
2 weeks ago, I believe. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. It feels like
Yesterday.
It's still going on.
Especially if you keep hearing the kids singing the songs. Like, hey, I think that's,
Yeah, so...
It's an old song now.
In England, we're having a heat wave.
Yes.
We managed to have one day of rain.
Yeah.
Happened to be Sports Day.
Of course.
Probably better, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just really cold, though.
Yeah, but can you imagine them running in the sun?
Yeah, but come on, in England.
Oh, but hold on. As Harvey told us, he had his bottle.
I just saw him from a distance at the blanket. I was like, oh, okay, he's fine then. I don't have to go there. Like, all the parents were like running across the other side, giving them hats and umbrellas and blankets. And I was just happily sit on the grass or wherever it was. Yeah,
so let's start with that. So we were sitting on the grass. So we arrived.
No, let's start when we arrived.
That's
yes. Sorry.
You're always interrupting me. This is going to be happening a lot on this show. So we arrived, as I was saying, in the beginning. We had to have lunch all together.
Yes, so we arrived. So basically, 12-ish is like a family picnic. So here I am, prepared all the picnic in one bag and also like a blanket. And we were driving there, and Jason said, I didn't see anyone with a lot of things on their hands. Really, like, it's a picnic. Of course, people will bring stuff.
Well, I just thought we were going to maybe be the only ones arriving with loads of
bags.
To be honest, there were people there that brought their own chairs and things.
Yeah, in fact, they had chairs and big umbrellas. Like, we don't even have umbrella. I felt really, like, unprepared. It's like, I should have thought about it. I should have thought, oh, yes, England surely will rain.
Probably going to rain, yeah. We're in the middle of a heat wave. There shouldn't have been any rain. Anyway, we arrived. We had lunch.
Yeah.
With the kids.
Yeah.
Around.
Jason was like, oh dear, it's so noisy.
Yeah, it was like, honestly.
He didn't want to be there.
We didn't need to be there.
Oh, he definitely didn't want to be there. He was like, oh dear.
We could have
really
had lunch.
To be here.
Well, I didn't realise there was going to be... So, like, everybody had kind of a packed lunch because it was a picnic.
Yeah.
How long does it take to eat a packed lunch?
Well,
10 minutes, 20
it
minutes?
It can take as long as you want.
So why did we need like there to be arrive at 12 and have the lunch, and then the actual sports events didn't start until well past 1?
You need to give children chance to eat. They take really long hours, long time to eat.
Well, why not just give them their lunch as normal,
and then
we'll
as
come in
well,
for
some
sports
people would want to go and get their coffee outside in the shop. So, you need to have time for those kind of people.
Who would do
Mr.
that?
Jason.
So, admittedly, I was bored enough in the wait
To
not only go and get us coffee, but to offer somebody else if they wanted a cup of coffee.
He was like, because I was complaining about myself, saying, "Oh, I should have brought some coffee or something like that," but I was so unprepared, so I didn't bring any coffee. And Jane's like, "Oh," very kindly, out of his kind heart, "Oh, would you like me to go to Sainsbury and get you some coffee?" And me, inside me, very touched. Oh, how sweet of him. Sweet of him. He just wants an excuse to go out and just wander around outside, not to stay here.
I didn't wander. I literally walked to the shop, bought the coffee, and walked back.
And then the friend said, "Are you sure?" And I said to the friend, "Yes, just ask what you want," because he just wants to escape, so he's not gonna mind whatever you're gonna ask him. So she just started to laugh. It's like, "Okay, then I'll have a coffee too."
Yeah. Well, I went. I got everyone coffee.
And it took you like good 40 minutes.
The service is very slow. What do you want me to tell you?
I was like, "Where is he?"
Okay.
He's surely
Here's a
taking
question
his
for
time.
you. Had any event started before I got back?
No.
So
In fact, I was getting worried. I was like, the event's going to start now. He's not here yet.
So then they wrangled all the children together. They took them back
Yeah.
into the school. And we got to watch them come out class by class. And we hinted at this in Harvey's episode. Each class representing a different nation.
It was basically because it's like a football parade with different... Was it all like the semi? Not the semi, but...
No, I honestly don't know where...
I thought
it was such a weird choice of countries.
I thought it was more like the countries that was playing that week.
No,
If I wasn't wrong.
No, it was just a random selection of countries.
I think it was to do with football.
I mean, it may...
Because I heard the announcer said something like that.
Well, I think that's just because there was a child there that obviously likes football, and she sort of said to him, "Oh, is your country still in the World Cup?"
Just one
And
time.
at time of recording, if their country was England, no.
But they didn't have England, did they?
They didn't have England. I guess.
You see, they didn't anticipate England would get to this week, did they? They just thought, let's just gather all the other countries apart from England.
It's just as well, like, how many... So we have a lot of friends from Nigeria.
Yeah.
From back when we were
Yeah.
ironically living in Italy. We have a lot of friends from Nigeria. And as soon as I saw the class come out representing Nigeria, I just started taking pictures. And I was sending it to my...
Do you think it was a bit racist or just cute? With the masks and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was... It's funny, isn't it? Because it kind of causes me to have flashbacks to when I was at school and all the kind of masks and tribal masks and things. Yet, now that I know a lot of people from Africa, I don't associate that kind of thing with any of them.
How would you represent Nigeria then?
Don't ask me that question. Ask me off air.
Well, I think I would represent it with their national costume, their dress.
Well, yeah, they had the flag, and they had and like weirdly they'd done the masks in the color of the flag and things.
Maybe the football fans wore that when they were watching the match.
Yeah, I don't know.
They
Maybe
took
just
from that. I don't
have
know.
someone recite a poem in pidgin English. Or,
Seriously,
I don't know. Anyway, we had Nigeria. Harvey was Mexico, as he told us.
Yeah, and he did that little wiggle, didn't he? That was so cute.
Now,
funny.
Probably, if anybody is interested, I can put some of these pictures up on our Instagram at ACW Pod, and you can see the madness we're talking about. So we've not even got to the events yet. So they did like a lap of the track each class.
Yeah,
representing their different country.
It took forever. Oh, no wonder director says that never work with kids or with animals, because they just took. I mean, come on, hands down for the teachers for trying their hardest, but you could really see which teachers did try their hardest, because some had like hats and garlands and
So here we come back to another I don't want to say issue I have, but yeah, there was a lot of craft work that had gone into preparing these things. Now, Harvey has not come and told me anything about Mexico. So
that's true, yeah.
I don't think it was like, well, we were studying about this country and we made these things. It seems to have just been, we made a load of stuff for one day of running around a field. What are they doing at school? Because I understand he's in the lowest year. They're not really like colouring in. That's what they do.
They have a lot of stuff created, like a lot of crafts.
They must have spent weeks preparing stuff.
Seriously? I don't think so.
Yeah, there was so much. Dare I say junk? There was so much.
Oh, you should see, like at the end of the year, I was told that you get given all the creations.
Yeah, he might be ill on the last day of the year.
To the parents, and literally like big bean bags of them.
Yeah. Oh, we should also mention, for anyone listening who doesn't know us in person, this was our first ever sports day.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense of
so
the first ever sports day that I wasn't a child at. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and you were really like, oh, I'm so worried. I think he's going to stumble. He's going to cry because he's going to lose. You didn't have any faith in your son. And I was like, I think he will do quite well. I think he's all right.
So I had zero faith in our son.
The worst father ever in this respect.
In this respect. Thanks for the clarification. So
yes,
I love our son
father.
to bits. He is so smart. Like, smart as a whip. And, and he remembers everything.
Choose to
tell
remember
him.
Whatever.
He's great at
and
maths.
Forgets whatever he...
I'm terrible at maths, so I don't know where he gets it from, because you're not much better than me. So.
Maybe from me. Just
so he's so clever, but he doesn't seem to be the most coordinated person I've met in my life.
Well, whose fault's that?
His?
You should be training him.
I do.
To ride the scooter. You should be training him a bit more patient instead of complaining, oh, I can't do it. Just don't do it.
Well, this is the thing. You see him compared to some of the other kids at school, and it seems like they're, they all rode a bike, they can ride a scooter.
Yes.
So it's logical that I'm going to think this is just a competition of skills at throwing something, at running, at moving. That's not his strong suit.
But I know that they've been practicing this, because every time he comes home and he has like a mark on his hand, I always ask, so what's that? Oh, because I ran a lap today. Or, oh, if I have 3 lines, it means I run 3 laps today. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good.
I mean, I've no doubt that he can do it. It's more the competition side of things.
Okay.
I just thought, he's gonna struggle.
Competitive.
And because he's so small, and also he's one of the youngest in the year.
Yes. Oh, he's only 4.
He's one of the smallest, because, again, for anyone who's not met us in person, neither you or I are particularly tall.
That's true.
So that
makes him cuter, doesn't it?
Yeah, but not faster.
Yeah, I suppose.
So we mentioned in the episode with him some of the events he did.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
You were.
He was so balanced.
He was so good. Oh, you know what happened? When they started to you have to sit there, and then you saw him run on the other side. You were so quick to judge. You were like, what is he doing? Why did he run there? Why? He's just supposed to sit there. Whereas the teacher said that he is supposed to be on the other side. And you were so quick.
I have 2 things to say about that. Number 1... my voice is deeper than yours, so I don't know why you do an impression of me. Your voice goes higher pitched than before.
So what should I do? Oh, why did he go run over that side? He was not listening. He's not listening. Why did he run over that side? He should stay on the other side.
Yep, I prefer that. That's much better. Well done. And the other problem that I had was, so they're in the youngest. He's in the youngest year.
Yes.
They started with the older kids racing. And all the older kids were initially like single races.
Yes, yeah.
It was
like 100
one person from
yeah.
each of these teams, come out, run. Then the next one's set up, run. So up until then, you'd all started at the same start line, and there was one start line, one finish line.
Yeah.
So he comes up, and I just see the teacher kind of being like pointing to the start line, pointing to the finish line, and then back again. So in my mind, I'm thinking she's just kind of reminding them, this is where you start, this is where you finish.
Yeah.
And off he goes.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought she'd said, this is where you start, that's where you finish. And he just decided, race is on. Let's go.
Whereas he was such a good listener because
it was a relay race.
Yeah, exactly. So he needed to be there. And since he was the very first one that actually listened to the instruction and ran to the other side, whereas all the others took some time to go to the other side. And I was like, what's wrong with you? It's your son. Have a bit of faith.
Well, he doesn't listen to me, so why should he listen?
He is. He does listen.
He's very good, yeah. He was very tired when we recorded his episode, so that's probably why he didn't listen very well when I was asking him questions. So the first race we got to watch him do was the beanbag on the head race.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, I was amazed.
He was so good, wasn't he? He was walking, he's concentrating, and he didn't drop the beanbag, not even once, whereas all the others dropped the beanbags.
Yeah, I did enjoy. There was one kid that was behind him and started walking, and they were like getting maybe halfway down the thing, and suddenly this kid was like, I'm gonna run now, and he just legged it, and his beanbag just went flying up his head. I was
It's
like,
just
that's
so funny
why you don't
them.
run.
It's just funny to see them when the beanbag started to move, and then their head starts to tilt and just try to keep it there and still walk.
Yeah.
But he did really well. He was slow and steady, and he did really well.
But he wasn't even that slow, because that was what I really enjoyed watching. I'm so bad. So I don't really like watching much sport, but I did enjoy this.
He just liked to see other people lose at it.
It was just funny watching. There was like the kids that were like just cheating because like, I'm just going to put my hand on top of this and run. And the teachers don't do anything. And then there were like the ones taking it really seriously, but like super slow. They would like put it on there, and
Very
they were like looked like they were
face, like,
walking across a tightrope. They're like, there we go, one step, and the next step. And it was just funny watching them, like, because again it's in a relay.
Yeah.
So you have one kid who like just grabs it, slams it on his head, keeps it on his head, legs it to the end of the thing, hands it to this next kid who's balances it there and is like, it's as if it's the most valuable possession he has, trying to walk down very slowly, very carefully.
That's how you see the team, you see, because that one ran with his hand on it and the other one is walking so slowly. So at the end of the day, even if you are so quick, like Harvey's team, he was really good, but the one next to him was rubbish every time.
Oh, you mean on his team?
On his team.
So he
did really well, but then his team must let him down.
Now I know what you're all thinking at home. Of course you say that. You're his parents.
No, we have videos.
We
have proof.
Post a video that he, like, on one of the things, he got to the end, he hands off, I can't remember if it was the egg and spoon or the beanbag, but he hands it to the next person, and she just waits a good 10, 15 seconds before even going.
Or even the egg one. I don't know what I was thinking. We seriously thought it was real egg, but obviously
you thought it was a real egg.
It would be
they can't afford real eggs.
No, it would be such a mess, wouldn't it?
But also, they weren't just like a ball. They were plastic eggs. They were the shape of an egg.
I know, yeah, but that would be more difficult because it's really light.
Well, I didn't feel one. I don't know how heavy they might not have been hollow plastic. It might have been like a rubbery.
Okay.
I don't know. They didn't let me inspect the eggs. I did ask.
You had a lot of complaints at the beginning. You said, "Why don't they have what you call it, like the best?"
Yeah. Well,
and you were like complaining, like, "What?" And then the friend said, they don't have a lot of budget. It's like, well, I will pay for it. It costs like £1 in eBay for like a 10-pack.
Well, only because there were a couple of races I didn't understand what was going on. So as again we mentioned in Harvey's episode, there were the school was divided into 4 teams.
Yeah.
I've no idea how they worked out the team. So like when I was at school, it was divided into so like the school was divided in half year.
Yeah.
So that you had different things, and like the half years you understood, like all through the year you were in that half year kind of thing. Whereas there, within his class, they were assigned to different teams. Yeah. So I don't know how they balanced the teams out. But anyway, they were different teams. They had different coloured shirts. Only not all of them had different coloured shirts because they hadn't brought a shirt from home.
Yeah, because some was like, why is there a red in the yellow team?
Well, there was one race. It was 1 yellow and 3 reds. And I was like, that's not fair. Because also the teams, they were being scored by team.
Yeah.
So, of course, if you're running 3 on the same team, and then I found out, they're not on the same team. It's just that the red T-shirt is the school uniform PE kit. Yeah. And they didn't bring a different coloured shirt. So I'm just thinking, well, surely you'd have a bag of bibs. Because again,
bibs, that's what it is.
You're saying, you're like, they don't have enough for everyone. You don't need enough for everyone. You need enough for the number of people racing. That's like 4.
Yeah.
Get 4 different coloured bibs and give them a
But
bib
they
each.
did have a bib, but only
They had
the
bibs
captains had a bib.
Yeah, so there we... Well, we'll come back to that because that was another issue I had with the running of the sports
Jason
day.
has a lot of issues
I have.
on all different things.
And
I don't know why he always sees those bits of it.
That's why I started a podcast.
Just
lets me
to have a rant
vent into the internet. And if you're listening to this, I thank you.
Yeah, but you need to find the positive side of it as well. Otherwise, you're not going to enjoy anything.
Oh, it's annoying that you said that because I was just going to ask what races did you find funniest or did you enjoy the most?
The funniest.
I did like because they start the track was strange because it was it looks like a full kind of track.
Yeah.
But it's actually only 200 meters because when they ran 100 meters, it was longer than one length of the track.
It was a bit more like a rectangle, isn't it?
Yeah, well, usually
track,
a track
like
is 400 meters, isn't it? It's 100 meters,
Yeah.
and then it's like 100 around the top, 100 around the bottom, and 100 at the other side. Whereas this was 50, 50, 50, 50, and then they'd added sort of a 25 at the end
Because
and a 25 at the other end for
on the
100.
other side, so there's not enough space.
Yeah, well, it was just funny when they did. So they did they did a 200 meter run, and then they did do a 400 meter that was 2 laps of the track.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to watch these kids run.
There's one that all the way at the very beginning really run, and then slightly just died like at the middle. Whereas the one that was the very last just kept his pace.
Her pace, I think, was the girl.
Yeah.
The one that I could. So they started running, and I just said, I think she's going to win. And she was like right at the back the whole way. But the others just started dying off as they were running around. There was a lot of different things that I'd not seen like at a sports day before. Maybe new races. So Harvey mentioned like the beanbag toss. And
I don't know.
They were all a little bit, and quite often before a race, we were told, this is the first time we've tried this one. And you were like,
experiment.
Yeah, I can see that. It's the first
but
time
I
you
think
tried
it was all right. Wasn't it?
There was also, there was one girl there who's in a wheelchair. And so she was put in more like a pushchair.
Yeah, hands down to the mum. My goodness, the mum did all the racing for her.
The mum did a really good job.
Yeah,
and I'm really glad they kept her in and like involved her. There were a couple of events that they put her in that I just thought that's not fair on her. Because there was one where they were like 5 people down.
Oh yeah,
down
the ball
a road.
relay. I enjoyed that part.
Yeah, and they like the one had to throw a ball to the next one. They had to put that ball down and pick up. So it was like a tennis ball to a rugby ball to a football to a basketball. So you'd catch your ball, swap it for the ball you've got, throw it down, and then it would keep going down, and then it would come all the way back. The problem for her is that they put her right in the middle, so she had to catch the ball
and then throw it.
Then the mum had to turn her chair all the way around to throw it again. Put her at one of the ends. It takes so much
time, doesn't it?
If you put her at one of the ends, she wouldn't have had to turn. She could have been there. I just felt a little bit sorry for her because
it was a bit unfair.
It was nice for her, like being run around the track in the race. That was really nice. Someone did say to me, "Well, why didn't one of the other students push her?" And I think, well, because she weighs the same amount as them.
That's true.
Let the mum, who's a lot bigger, push her around.
Yeah.
But also that I felt a bit sorry for the mum because I said, and I wasn't joking. Like, if you'd asked me, I'd have pushed her around. It would have been nice. I felt sorry that the mum kind of had to do it because she wasn't.
Maybe she enjoyed it. Next year, you can volunteer.
I will tell her if she wants me to push her daughter around.
You
I
could
would
even
be
volunteer.
honoured.
You could volunteer.
Next year. I will go up to her and I will say, "Hi, my name's Jason. I've got a wonderful podcast."
Just to plug your podcast.
You've been mentioned on it before. Would you like me to push your daughter around when she's got in the races? Because I think that would be a nice thing to do. I'll make a note of that. So if we move on from that topic, it was a long day.
Yes.
So we were there from.
Well, not really. I mean, if you think about
it, it was a long day.
If you compare it to a real sports fest, school sports fest.
Do you want to try that again? If
we compare it to a real, like sports fest, like we went there 12 to 1:30 was the lunch, and then like 1:32, and then we had to go and pick him up like 3:30. So that's not a lot of time, is it?
We were literally there from 12 till 3:30. There was no pause in between. Like, even the time for them, it was just them bringing them in to then bring them through one door to kick them out another door so we could take them home. Like, just let them walk through the field with us. It felt a lot longer. And when you say, like, if you compare it to a real sports fest, what you mean when you're watching athletes in the peak of physical condition performing incredible feats? Yeah, it was shorter than that, but for some reason I'm imagining that was probably a bit more enjoyable.
I think it was just because there were a lot of pauses. Then, like,
so many pauses and like
long
and
moments.
It just seemed so badly organized.
Oh, come on, they have a really low budget. And they've got really, little small student body.
Oh, here we go. Talking of students, talking of the bibs that we mentioned before. So the bibs were awarded to children who were the captains, who were involved in, like, giving out the scores.
Yeah.
And that was a disaster. Don't give a small child such an important role, because they were like,
who would you want to be the captains then?
Well, what I'd like is maybe there's a teacher standing at the line who goes first, second, third, fourth, done. Instead, you were watching debates happening on the line. It was like, okay, you were second. I wasn't second. We beat him. Oh, okay then. You were first. What? No, but he said, oh, I've given him for, like, it just
I'm sure the teacher saw it. And then they just said to the kids, okay, give these ones their scores and stuff like that.
And to be honest, I don't really care who won, because
we were like Nash. Well, Harvey was Nash.
But you see, that was the thing.
He was like first every time, and then like at the very end, the wood.
Yeah. So, there's another thing I found funny. It was like written in the beginning, like the scoring system.
Yeah.
It was like 40 points for first place, 30 for second, 20 for third, 10 for fourth. And then it was written like, and double points in relay races. Every single race, apart from the first 4, were relay races. Just write this many points per race. Who cares that it's...
I think it's just because somehow when it's bigger number, it looks
the
more
numbers
impressive.
Got insane when they started saying like this one's got more than 1,000 points. I'm going, what is happening here?
Yeah.
How long have we been here?
But the yellow team, the wood team, was the champion at the end. At the very end, they had like a complete turnaround because they were like last, and Nash was always the first.
They overtook them on the final race.
Yeah.
They took the lead. And then I overheard, because my ears are huge when people are talking around me, I overheard a mum
he likes to listen to other people's conversations.
Complaining, like went off to talk to, because there was a race skip.
Okay.
And it was like, well, why are they not doing that race? And she's like, oh, because it's to balance out the teams better to we're not doing this race. And
what was
she
the race?
was furious because clearly her kid was in Nash, and it was like, and they're doing this to say it's making it more balanced. But how does that work? Because they're talking about what happened last year, but who knows what happened last year? And I'm like,
what was the race?
Do you know? I think it was the final race that there was a. Was it a relay race, or it was like a 400-meter race or something that they were meant to do all the years, and they kind of just skipped the last year. They didn't do them, and so the last year didn't run, and it was like, well, why didn't they run? And
surely that would be interesting because they're the bigger kids, aren't they? So surely they will be faster.
Let them run. I'd enjoy that.
Let them run the whole field twice.
And it was convenient that on the program. So there wasn't even a
program.
The program
was so long. I mean, my goodness. And there were like only 4 events that Harvey was on. I was like, oh, can we just...
Yeah, that was the annoying thing. Like, to have to sit there and watch everybody else. Like, to be honest, I didn't massively want to watch Harvey run. But at least you're like,
was nice.
Well, he's my son, so that's nice. But having to sit through... Like, he'd do one race and then another 10 races of all the other years was just boring. And they were such bad races.
Well, what can you do? They're just kids. It's just basically, they've been practicing PE all
and let's put this out there that I'm not against kids. I don't like any sport, but at least with some sport I can admire. Like, I might not really follow a sport, but I can understand that that's very impressive what you can do. And you
worry that Harvey doesn't have coordination or not very good.
I didn't say I worry. I just don't imagine that he has. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. for now, but it's fine. But
Because it's your responsibility to teach him how to run, to ride the bike and ride the scooter, and to be good at all those sporty things.
Well, I always think that I'm not amazing at all those sport things. I'm in pretty good shape, but I didn't really do much sport. I didn't really. It's just I don't care. That's the problem.
But you see, the good thing about what he did is, you were surprised of how good he was.
I was surprised how good he was,
and he was really good. I was so proud of him. He didn't drop the egg, not even once. I was really worried. I thought he was gonna drop it. He didn't drop it, and the others just kept dropping it all the time. And then the bean toss, and
he
he
was
did
amazing
it just
on that
in
one.
one
He did
go.
that on one again. Go to our Instagram, you'll see that.
Was it 3 events that he did, or 4? And
I
then
think
the
he
run,
did 3 events, and then there was the big
the
200-meter run race.
and he ran without stopping, and he just ran the whole length. And you're like, I wonder if he can run it the whole way through. And he did.
Well, that's only because anytime we walk anyway, he tells me he's tired and he needs to be carried.
Yeah, he always says that.
But now I just show him a video of himself running for 200 meters and go,
but he doesn't really
sure
mind
you
running.
need to be carried because I've seen you can run that
But he
far.
doesn't like walking, but he's very happy to run.
Yeah, the opposite of me.
And he's like,
walk for miles. But
like
make
if
me
you
run.
tell him, come on, let's go run across that side, and then from then on you can run from the field all the way to the house, and he'll be yes, and he'll be so happy. How is that? I don't understand that. You'd rather run than walk because you're so tired.
Yeah.
Surely you'd prefer to walk.
Now up to this point, I feel like you've been making me out to be the bad guy.
Well, I'm not making you to be a bad guy. I'm just relating what has happened.
You say that, but the audience will agree that you've been making me out to be the bad guy.
No, that's not true.
But then came your opportunity, your chance to represent for your son the mums race.
Oh, come on.
The mums race was called. Where were you?
I was there cheering all the other mums. I wasn't dressed. I had a dress and some sandals,
So we went home before going out, and I changed.
I didn't have a chance to change.
You didn't have the chance, or you didn't have the desire?
Well,
we'll leave that up to the audience to decide. Tweet us at ACW Pod and let us know if you think she didn't have the time. Bear in mind, I had the time, and we arrived together, but she didn't have the time.
And also I was babysitting with this little kid.
I was there with you. I was helping you out. Anyway, you didn't run in the mums race.
Yeah,
the
but
mums
we didn't
race
know.
was hilarious.
We didn't know that there was a mom. I didn't know that there was any.
You're just so sexist. You assumed 100% there was going to be a dad's race.
No, I didn't.
You were fully convinced.
No, I didn't. I just said, oh, I'm quite comfortable with what I'm wearing. I think I'm just going to wear it. I don't have time to change. And then when we got to the car, I said, I wonder if there's going to be any dad's race. It just went into my head that there was going to be a dad's race. And then I look up how I was wearing. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be able to participate. I'm not dressed appropriately.
I thought you were saying, I'm not going to be able to participate. I'm not a dad.
No, in case there's like a mom's race or something.
So you didn't partake. That, for me, was the funniest thing of the whole day. Not the race. They were very good. It was 2 false starts on the race.
Oh yeah, one
because they were
ready.
Yeah,
steady,
it was either ready, steady, go or ready, set, go.
Ready, set,
and
go.
And twice they left on set. And
they
the first
still
time they
left
stopped
set.
them,
yeah,
and the second time they let them go. So what I loved was walking back to the car and just listening to a mum explain to her son why she didn't win the race. Because they cheated.
My goodness, the competitiveness
they left
of
on set,
these parents.
and I waited, and I thought they were going to call them back, and they didn't call them back. And if they had, and he's like, would you have won? Well, I would have done better. So you didn't partake in the mums race?
No.
Next year?
I really want to suggest...
You've got a year to train.
I really want to suggest that they do a whole lap, like, a 200-meter race, not only 100 meters.
I also would have preferred a 200-meter race.
Not a sprint, because we don't do sprint.
No.
We do long.
We don't even do that long distance.
Not long distance, but I think I have more stamina than all those other mums, because they smoke and I don't know whatever. I don't.
What do you do to stay in shape, Rochelle?
I do CrossFit.
You do CrossFit. So if any...
Although this week I haven't been, so at the moment, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, my husband's going to be a bit... It's expensive.
It is expensive, and you're not going. But that's fine. You're doing this tonight. That's okay.
I can redeem myself.
This
is quite tiring as well, It's a kind of exercise.
An exercise
My back
of
is
your
hurting.
mouth. Well, you need to posture up. You should sit more appropriately into your microphone.
I need to strengthen my core here while sitting down.
But yeah, you've been training for a year. I was expecting you to attempt the run. You didn't. You weren't dressed appropriately.
Oh, I wasn't.
But
you did suggest to do it barefoot.
I did. You were like, I'm wearing sandals. I'm like, run barefoot.
Yeah, can you imagine if I tumble down? Because also the surface is not really...
It was grass.
And it rained, by the way. It rained, so it was slippery.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses, but not a lot of running. That's what I'm hearing. There's no footsteps.
You've got excuses as well.
For what?
You started to run, you're like, everyone was cramping down on me, and I felt squished, and so I couldn't be the first.
So one, I ran. First of all.
So it was
let's put this up there. There was a dad's race. I did run.
No, I don't want to.
How many dads were in that race?
Oh, loads. Almost all of them.
Yeah. So
Not all.
I think there was. I would have said about 25 dads
Yeah.
on one track, which was ridiculous because there was no space, and because on the one side of you. Like I say, on one track, you couldn't really spill off the track.
No, because the one side you've got the kids, and the other side you've got the mums, so you don't have any space.
You're
going
to kill somebody no matter what. Next year, I'm going to go on the edge, though. I think that's the solution.
Which edge?
On one of the edges. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was a bit more in the middle. And do you know what? Before the race,
Did you all go on go or set?
No, we all went on go.
Oh, yeah. Because Dad's a bit more...
Yeah. The dads were a little bit more tuned into how a count of three works. But I was more nervous than I should have been for this race.
I don't understand why. I mean, surely...
Well, I'll tell you why. You don't understand? I'll tell you why. Because I got there and we're it was a bit like cattle kind of all crammed into the starting box.
It was more, yeah.
And I'm looking kind of down the line and I'm thinking two things. First, I reckon I'm probably in better shape than 90% of these people.
You're one of the shortest, though.
That's my second thought, but I'm by far the shortest person here. So,
even the Filipino was taller than you.
And that's saying something. And you can say that because you're
I'm a Filipino.
So we're not being racist. You're allowed because you're also... Not only are you a Filipino,
I'm also
you're
really
a short Filipino.
Well, not really short. Just, average short.
Average short, yeah, for a Filipino. So I'm looking down the line. I'm like, well, okay, I don't want to be beaten by some of these guys because, as you said before, they don't look like they do any exercise or anything. They are.
What can you do?
They have,
Although there was
they
that
have
one,
committed to the dad lifestyle.
There was that one that you said that had the dragon tattoo on his ears.
Yeah.
He's pretty in good shape.
Did he run?
He did.
Where did he come?
I don't know.
Behind me, I didn't see him.
Oh.
So the race started, and because I was by far the smallest person, I just got knocked.
But you were right in the middle, though.
Exactly. Well, that's because when I got there, we were about 10 dads.
And then everyone started to...
And then people just kept crowding in and pushing us.
Probably they saw you and if he's running, I'm running as well.
Yeah. So
because you're so deceptive,
I got knocked to the very back. And then as 25 meters went, 50 meters, 75, I was just watching people die and just overtaking them because of having...
So you have more space to run.
More stamina. And I think I came third at the end.
Yes, you were. You know what? The one that came first was the really tall one. Well,
there you go.
He
of course,
has longer
I'm having
legs.
to do 2 strides for every one of his.
Yeah.
But I'm with you that if we'd had 200 meters,
oh yes,
I would have enjoyed that a lot more. I might still not have won because that tall guy, he was pretty fast as well. But that shouldn't have made me as nervous as it did. But I think
you're just so self-conscious instead of just having that going on running just for the sake of it.
Well, I feel like if I was ridiculously out of shape, you wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, of course I lost. Look at me.
Yeah.
But because quite often the days I'll take him to school, I'm then going straight to the gym.
You're wearing
and I'm wearing
t-shirt,
Team Bath CrossFit, and
So you thought I have to represent my box in a good way, otherwise shame on me.
Exactly, that's exactly what I thought. Was just that they've seen me here all through the summer, dressed as if I'm heading straight to the gym.
What's all this training?
And then
Show
he comes
us.
last.
Yeah.
But no, I did quite well. I came third. I was happy with that. I would have,
To be honest, running is my worst exercise. I hate running. Like every time it's written on the board for the day, running, I'm always complaining.
Well, to be honest, I actually think I have shin splints at the moment. And every time I run afterwards, my feet and my shins into my feet hurt so much. It's because it's just running all these days, isn't it? I've been running too much.
Like if there's running on the ward, the warm-up is running. Surely I can run later.
Not only that, I don't think I need a warm-up. It's quite hot.
Yeah, I'm warm enough.
Anyway, we digress. So that was, let's say, our first experience of a sports day.
It was fun, but it was just a bit,
If you were going to change anything, what would you change?
I think they should have done some races with the parent.
Or like what happened to the three-legged race? Where you'd have dad and the son or mum and the daughter.
Was it there?
No. Well, when I say what happened to it, that's what I mean. Like we used to do those kind of races.
Oh, I thought it was
back
like in the
day.
Or something. Oh, I don't know.
But now,
that would have been fun. Or like they had the sack race, and then you complained, "Oh, where's the sock?" The sock.
That wasn't me that complained. That was your friend that was complaining.
Was it her? But there was a sock. A sock?
A sack.
Sack. Sorry.
Yeah, they all had socks.
Sack.
Two each. Actually, they were really generous.
It's so funny because one of the girls said, "It's really like short."
They were really small.
And then the parents said, because you grew taller, that's why they're shorter.
No, they were tiny. I think it
was like reception
No,
size.
you think of a sack race, and usually the sack is like coming up to your chest,
yes,
right?
Yes, yeah.
These were around their knees.
Oh yeah, it was
tiny
really
little sacks.
They were like, I told you should donate it next year. You should just go to the office.
Here
and
are some bibs. Here are some sacks.
Exactly, and here's my availability for that day, or if you need any organizing at all whatsoever, anything.
Here's a barbell. Here are some plates. If we can have some thrusters in the middle of the few clean and jerks.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We can do like a Tough Mudder X as we run around.
Oh, do some burpees and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was none of that. There was no functional fitness. I'm very disappointed.
Oh, come on. It was just for fun.
It was just for fun.
For them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure who it was fun for. Not me.
Well, I don't know. A lot of parents there have some booze and stuff. So I think they had fun.
Really?
A lot of people had beer.
Oh, I didn't see that. And I noticed I wasn't offered any of that.
And they were had proper camping chairs and big umbrellas when it started raining. They were prepared.
Well, it was our first year. We will be more prepared next year. I mean, I'm going to go for a run now just to start training ready for the first day. And then it's funny because stretch my legs. Because I
remember that, I do have some camping chairs, folding chairs at home, but I didn't bring it.
Actually, you had camping chairs, folding chairs in the back of the car.
Oh, yeah, it was in the back of the car.
And you were like, we should have brought those. And my only observation was, and who was going to carry them? Because I was already carrying everything else.
I know. And then what we were doing was just lying in the grass and standing up.
Yeah. So if I was going to change something, because I care about people, I'm a really nice guy like that, I probably would organise it and do so at 1 o'clock, we'll do all the reception races. Then we'll do all the year 1, all the year 2, all the year 3.
Then you won't
you only have to come for what you really need to see.
Yeah, but then you won't have any audience.
Yeah, but think about this. There won't be a really bored audience.
Yeah, but they at the end of the day, the announcer was saying, "Oh, we really thank you very much for coming. We have such a good crowd, and better than last." Can you imagine? We were not even a lot there. Can you imagine what it was last year? I think it was really good the way they did it.
Yeah.
To stagger it a bit. Force the parents to stay.
Force the parents. Well done. You've really hit the nail on the head there, because I did feel forced to stay.
Because it would be nice if others were cheering a little bit.
It would be nice.
They were not cheering. And I was cheering for a son, and you look at me like, what are you doing? I mean, I was supposed to cheer. It's a sports day. You're supposed to cheer. And whistle. Oh, yay! That's how it works.
Maybe in the Philippines.
No. Because this year's not gonna happen again.
Do you promise?
It's past now, and you're never gonna see a reception Harvey doing his thing.
See, you say that. I was there. I watched the whole thing. You make it out like I went away. Not only was I there, I participated.
Yeah, but
if anything, I'm the
Oh,
winner.
now we're turning it into me now.
Yeah. I went off and bought people coffee because I'm such a nice guy. I ran the race to support my son. How many pictures did you take of the event?
No, nothing, because I was concentrating. You were the one that's taking the pictures because you were so bored. It's like, go take pictures then. And videos.
It's because I love my son and I want to document everything he does.
Oh, yes.
Because let me tell you this, Rochelle.
Let's wrap up
there
this
will
podcast.
never be a reception Harvey again.
Oh, no,
this is the only time.
That's my word. Copywriting that. Why are you repeating that?
Have you enjoyed this new series that we've just started?
I don't know. Let us know, guys. Or is it just...
Okay, that was my question to you.
I thought it was for the audience. You need to be more specific.
I was looking at you. I've literally peeked behind the podcasting curtain, rearranged the whole studio.
It's really
so
dark
that we
here.
can look at each
dark.
other as we
see
talk.
me.
And yet I looked at you.
Like that.
I pointed at you and I said, "Have you enjoyed this?" And you
didn't point it at me.
I've even got a yellow pencil. Look at that.
You've been pointing that all through this episode.
I like to gesture.
You know, they can't even see you.
Well, if you ever study gesturing, you'll know that gestures can be heard in your voice. So, anyway, my question to you, Rochelle, my dear wife, have you enjoyed this first episode of the new series?
Yes, I begrudgingly did this. You said you threatened me with something else. I said, fine.
What did I threaten you with? The alternative to watching an episode of Lois and Clark and record another podcast. Yeah. That's not a threat. That's a privilege.
It's just because it will take so long.
If anybody out there would like to listen, if anybody out there would like to watch episode 8 of season 1, Lois and Clark and New Adventures of Superman, and review it with me, there might be an opening on our other podcast.
No, it's just because, I do enjoy it after. It's just the thought of having to sit on these uncomfortable chairs and then sitting here for like 40 minutes and then sitting for another 40 minutes to review it. It's not very comfortable.
I have the comfortable chair.
Yeah, you have the comfortable chair. You've been sitting there all day. It's easy for you to say. And complaining about the heat.
Yeah, it's quite warm in here. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's wrap this up. So, have you enjoyed it? Yes, that's good. Yes,
it's fun.
Audience, have you enjoyed it?
It's fun because I can say anything without any repercussion.
Well, you say that. You don't know what's going to happen when the mics turn off.
Oh dear.
Anyway, we have enjoyed it. So if you have enjoyed this, if this is something you'd like us to keep doing, in some way, let us know, whether that's through Twitter or Instagram at ACW Pod, whether you're emailing us directly at aconversationwithpod.com, whether you're somehow sending out smoke signals, just telling us what a great job we're doing.
Oh dear.
We'll appreciate any feedback. Or why not go to iTunes. If you don't have iTunes, register on iTunes, go there, leave us a 5-star review, and that way we'll keep doing this. Don't forget to listen to the other episodes that we've got up. Either a conversation with my son, so when we're talking to Harvey, a conversation with, which is the main show where we're having different guests each week from different part of the world, and some very interesting episodes already recorded that will be going up in the following weeks. So look out for those. And of course, if you ever want to support the show in any way, you can head to patreon.com/aconversationwith. You can become a supporter there, and there's going to be some bonus content going up very shortly. So we hope you will enjoy that as well. That's all from us, and we hope that you'll be back with us for the next episode. So we just want to say goodbye.
Bye.